Welcome, everybody, friends, folks, foes, and fellow pirate mateys, to this week's edition of World Pirate Radio News. It's show segment number 340. I'm your host, as always, the Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder. WPRPN.com is the website we will direct your attention to. Sign up is free. All you simply need is a username, password, and email. If you'd like to find out a little bit more about the show, be sure to check out the description end of things. A lot of really helpful URLs, social media links that'll redirect you, hopefully, to the sort of places you're looking to discover. If you'd like to help us out with the work we're doing here, keep in mind we have a Patreon presence. We have online pirate booty available in the form of coffee mugs, t-shirts, and the like. We're always open to receiving a little of your digital love. I've got indie music I've recorded, which some people tell me they'd like to hear more of. So if you'd like to find out more information about that, other than just what's made freely available via my man cave page off of WPRPN, let us know. Half of everything we do manage to generate goes directly back to the grassroots. How about that, huh? Not the sort of thing you hear, unfortunately, more of the notable social media figures, live streamers, and the like talking about, likes of Alex Jones, Joe Rogan, Red Ice Creations, Candace Owens, even the lefties, as it were. Well, why is it that they don't embrace such a philosophy and approach? We definitely do, very much in conjunction with the whole hashtag WWRHD, what would Robin Hood do? Ethos and philosophy. Liking, commenting, sharing, remembering to hit subscription notification buttons, really essential to helping us build up more of a reach, um, and boosting the algorithms. Obviously, passing word along to friends, family, and coworkers. If you can take the time, make the effort in doing that, as many of you have been doing throughout the years, we can't say enough good things about you, obviously. So, uh, now, we did have some technical issues there from the get go. I'm not sure how we're going to handle that via the post production end of things. But in the meantime, because we lost our Teams call, we're going to reach out to them one more time here, see if we can bring a few of the panel members uh, that we had assembled and we had ready to go, champing at the bit. Uh, Now we've got less than an hour remaining here, unfortunately, but let's see. It appears from all sounds and indications we've got and stand by. Just hang on. We got one more item to take care of, and don't ask me why this does this, but every time we go about sharing our screen and audio end of things, the whole system that we have in place here wants to crap the bed, essentially. So off to the poop deck it goes. Uh, we're
You
assuming
say something
everyone
like poop the
can
bed.
hear us. Is that right? We got Sonia Galactic here once again out of
Yeah.
Phoenix, um, Arizona. Yvonne Malenfant, courtesy of Coquitlam, British Columbia. Roger Hanson, resident of West Frankfort, Illinois. And Chris Dubetter was here with us as well. So we'll probably have to go
Hey
about.
there.
Oh, he is. He's still there with us. Okay. So there is a sneeze button for anyone who's got seasonal allergies or colds, uh, such as such as what we're having to contend with here at this particular moment as well. We got a little bit in the way of the sniffles. So
So the guys that want to hear Sad-Eyed Lady of the Northlands, I was kind of pushing it while you were
yeah,
gone.
yeah. Well, we'll get around to doing that at some point here, maybe in the lead up to Christmas, maybe over during the Christmas campaign, Operation Secret Santa 2025, hashtag OSS 2025.
Yeah, I got the song right here. I don't know how to share it though.
I wouldn't worry about it. Not right now. Oh, yeah, you can
Don't be
share it with them
afraid.
through email and whatnot. Definitely, by all means. It's
Oh yeah,
but I feel quite
certainly.
flattered. I'm a
You should be.
songwriter more than anything else. Not much of a live performer, unfortunately, but that's just
Well,
the way
you are. You're good at
life
live.
rolls. I think. Well, I had a
Don't be
little.
too hard, so hard on yourself.
Getting older now, man, and I don't like to cheat with teleprompters and lyrics in front of me and that sort of thing. So, if you can't do it all live off the top of your head, then that's just it's not real top notch, top shelf performances as far as I'm circumcised.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Can
Just
I
before
tell you a funny story?
As long as it's not Kinky Friedman related.
No, not do it kinky. Um, yeah, on Sunday afternoon after church, I went down to the Arms area in Port Coquitlam, Coast Meridian. They have a strip mall there. There's like a bar, a liquor store, and then a pizza place,
Did you take it all
and
off?
it's under a canopy. No, well, I went busking in front of the pizza
Good
place,
stuff.
and I put my tin cup out, and I'm playing songs, and people are like tossing money and like it's going out of style,
Oh,
like
really?
loonies, toonies.
Nice.
I don't call loonies anymore. They're called Chuckies, King Charles, Chuckies. He's on
Wh-
his head's on the damn coin.
Which
A
one is it?
Chucky,
Which one is the Chucky?
Chuck E.
the
Cheese.
loony. It's a
Oh,
Chucky.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They're calling it the Chucky.
All right. How much money? Well, how
Like,
long did you play, and how much money did you make?
well, I played an hour and a half. People were walking by. One guy, he was Chinese, I think. He came by, had this beautiful red envelope with gold glittering on it. He kind of held it up in front of me. Then he put it inside. I thought, oh, it's
Yeah.
probably like a religious track or
Right.
something, and then some people they're putting in fives, and
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, And so I played about an hour and a half. I met these three people. Michelle came after, and we're chatting. And I'm counting up inside the envelope. There's a 20, a 5, and a loony, a Chucky,
Yeah.
inside the envelope. And I'm
Right.
really touched. I mean, the guy spent $26, like,
Yeah.
wow, And then there are all these fives. So I made $56 in 90 minutes. And that's pretty good. I mean,
Sure.
anyways, you had to be there. It was just a real spirit. Like people were just
Yeah.
very generous and
Good
happy
stuff.
and
Way to
nice
go.
sunny day.
Oh, great.
And anyways, yeah, it was kind of cool.
Right after church,
Yep.
was it?
Yeah.
Oh, way to go.
Just me and my guitar. Anyways.
That's the way to do it. So why doesn't everybody introduce themselves here? Because, let's try to keep it as quick, down and dirty as we can manage here, round the horn. And then, because, the way we lay out and unpack things here, it's important, I think, that we try to keep a little more focus, get to the talking points. I can do like a bullet point kind of quick rundown, and so on and so forth. So round the horn. First 30 minutes are free, I guess. Yvonne, might as well finish up with.
Okay. Yeah. My name's Yvonne Melanfont. I'm an interfaith pastoral counselor and life coach here in Coquitlam, BC, and I work via Skype or Teams video these days. And our motto is mystery and grace, non-judgmental. And so your first intake assessment session, your first 30 minutes are free, and we have a sliding scale for people that can't afford too much. So contact me for if you want to have a free 30-minute. And then at 30 minutes, you can decide if you want to continue or not, make arrangements as you wish. And remember, there's hope. Thanks.
It's not just, and hope is not just that, so on and so forth. That place around the horn. How many, 60 minutes north of free, I Vancouver? It goes beyond that. So.
Okay. Right. My name's Yvonne Mellon. East of Vancouver.
Okay. Northeast.
Well, it's east, pretty much.
All right. Let's Roger. Anyone? Rock, scissors, paper. That doesn't go over too well here usually. Kind of hard to manage that one, but go for it, Roger. Out of West Frankfort, Illinois. Who are you? What do you do? Why are you here? I think he's muted. Okay, next. Chris out of Atlanta. Hey, do better.
Hey, now.
We reminded your content the other day, that. Let's hear a little bit more about that Minds content and that concept you had in place. You've been promoting.
Yeah, basically it's a personal promotion for yourself and a altogether promotion for minds.com, and it'd be a 24-hour live stream Basically, with the main content being post from the Minds platform from different creators, and then having creators from Minds filling time slots for, presenting different news and art and music, whatever different things that they want to present, and promote themselves and their content.
And
So it'd be
exactly,
like a community-based ran
yeah.
initiative that would be in concert with Minds leadership to be,
East.
promoting both yourself and the Minds platform.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a 24/7 kind of deal too. I don't know,
Yeah,
pay it
yeah.
forward, but hand it on down the line to the next live streamer, like a network of live streamers via minds.com. And we're definitely down with the concept, and hope, we'd love to do our part in, like with this, for example, the weekly news event end of things. We could
Mm-hmm.
feature a weekly Minds channel and group. One
Right.
one channel, one group per week in feature in in the spotlight, essentially. And depending on what the news is what's really prominent within the context of the news cycle itself. This week would be British Columbia, I would argue. And we do have a British Columbia group that, we'd love to promote and get out there to the public a little more for anyone who'd
Now,
like
like I
to
said,
engage.
I had the idea, and I'd love to be involved as much as I can, but I've I tried to do the thing on my own with one other person that was helping, and it I think we ran it for close to a year, and it just didn't take off. But I've been focusing more on other things on the ground, like in real life, not that the internet isn't real life, but uh, more like right now I
IRL.
can rely on, I can rely on the income type thing other than a wish and a hope and a dream. So if somebody is from Minds that understands and wants to think that they can take the reins and steer the thing and get it going, then I'm not trying to. I just got the idea. Y'all
You're
take
just helping,
go
right?
for it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Nobody
the
else is doing
builder
it, obviously. So that's a
builds.
bold
Yeah,
vision, and we're down with
sure.
that for absolutely. And like I said, we're more than happy to play
Well,
our.
the more people that reach out to at Jack, at Ottman, at John, at Mark, um, I don't know who else, at Bashy, whoever y'all can think of that is part of the Minds Network for as far as the team leadership, and get them involved to get the ball rolling. The more people that actually show that there's a desire for this thing, the more serious they'll be about it. So
Did you tag them in the main post that you put out there?
so Jack, I actually told him about the whole thing, and he's on board with it. It's just they need the idea more presented in like a format that I can't put together by myself.
What
So
is that? What are they proposing? Their counter
they're
proposal.
they're wanting basically like a business plan
Oh,
to,
yeah,
so that
Yeah,
you can
usually that
present it
helps
to
yeah.
them.
people to make
Well,
decisions.
you know what I say. In the meantime, just do it, and that's what we're here for. We're just
Well,
doing
well,
it.
I'm just saying, I've tried to do it by myself and it didn't really take off. And I think it really needs the Minds team to be involved in it so that it can
It
be
would help.
like, legitimate. Hey, this is mine's that's presenting this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
So
wouldn't you have to get everybody on Minds in order to put that stamp on it?
Just, yeah, the mine's team,
Like,
the
okay, you're just talking about
owners
the
and all that.
executive team. Oh, okay.
Right,
I thought
right,
you were
right,
talking about like people who have Minds. Their input
right.
might be
all
important
right.
as well.
Well, yeah, that would
Thought.
be like people also, whoever wants to get involved, to be able to
Right.
be like
Okay.
the liaison to talk to mine's team and the community to be able to
Yeah,
more
that's very interesting. I'm kind of interested right now,
fl-
and I'm just hearing kind of the
flesh
tail
out,
end. So
All right.
iron out all the nuances and
Okay.
particulars on how it would run, and
Okay.
put together that business
Sweet.
plan for the mines team. You know what I'm saying? All
Well,
the things
No one's
that
put
I
together
can't do
a
by
business
myself.
plan yet. No one's put together a
No.
business plan yet.
well,
No.
like I said, in the
Yeah,
I'd love to
meantime,
help
it's
with
not
that.
my
Actually,
one
forte.
thing that we can do
yeah,
is just
I'd like to help
is
with that.
promote a weekly channel and group is one idea,
I
and why
think,
not?
I think
So
Roger already has one of those.
well, yeah, well, good. Well, what
Got
then? We'll
Minds
work with
Roundtable.
Roger. Fine, just and work
Well,
with
I mean,
Do Better here. Just
I'm just
do
saying,
it.
sounds like a great idea, and I'd
Yeah,
love to help. That's all.
yeah. So
I got a lot of
okay,
shit
and
going on right now.
and Chris, have you
Go ahead.
finished with your introduction? Then speaking of, I think you mentioned money, and real life jobs. I
I heard
recently
IRL at
I
the time.
recently managed to secure something so that we're going to be seeing the schedule in December change a little. I'm going to be doing my best to continue as we have over the past
Ah,
10 years.
I see.
Um, uh,
That's fantastic.
yeah,
hmm
it's
I'm excited about that.
long
It's almost like you're being
time.
forced to change. If
Well,
you
I mean,
won't change, your schedule's going to do it for you, kind of thing.
yeah, well, I
You
mean,
know?
it's got to eat, don't we? So, and we're not. Look, that's just if this is more lucrative, if this is clearly it's not, and to the point where we can. This year has been really dismal, unfortunately, as far as monetary contributions are concerned. People are always usually quite engaging and generous with sharing links and leaving comments and things
Mm.
along those lines, which is great. But we need the PayPal support and the purchase of the merchandise and
The
the
blooms.
digital, the pirate doubloons. Yeah, without that, it's we're running entirely out of pocket and into the red. Which, I mean, that's communism, man. Hello, that's and then who's left on the hook for that? So
hmm
who wants to operate in the red? That's one of the things that they're doing with the Canadian economy. In fact, without getting too sidetracked here, we will come back to that a little later. But Canadian flag, red and white. It's like reminiscent of the Bolshevik revolution, which I mean we're seeing some pretty rapid change right now out of British Columbia. Clearly, not only with the culling, let's call it for what it is, murder and annihilation of this healthy herd of ostriches, nearly 400, that whose eggs, I hope they absconded, secreted a few of those eggs away. They had the common sense, the foresight, to see that the authorities are coming soon, possibly here. Maybe we should get some of these eggs, and even the and then to the point where they're raising ostrich. I don't know if you call them chicklets or what have you, but it's utterly horrific what has been done there. The savage, brutal, nothing good that I can say, nor a lot of other people with any humanity, clearly. And the main reason, the only reason that they did it, frankly, don't let them bullshit you, is because these are birds that were healthy for nearly a year. Is be- uh, at the behest of the World Health the World Unhealth Organization, have that have that herd completely wiped out after they attained herd immunity within themselves. That's even adding insult to injury, you know. So this is all at the behest of the world
Kind of par for the course,
unhealth.
isn't it?
Let's call it for what it is. The
Insult to injuries,
world.
par for the course.
Yes,
You know?
indeed. World. And this is the whole thing. World Unhealth Organization. We need to reframe, to reset, and to really call things out for what they are. You know, the war on some drugs is another example. The war on terror. I mean, it's just so redundant, isn't it? So, I mean, how is war not terror? Would be my question. Probably a question George Orwell would ask as well. One of them, but you know what?
Take a million
It's
podcasts to
utterly.
explain that.
It's a crime against humanity what they've done. These bastards.
Absolutely is.
And
Oh,
so I
over and
Carney,
over.
who
It
hold
all goes
responsible
back.
blame? Carney, the
Yeah.
RCMP, where these are all willing servants of
No,
evil. Willing servants of evil.
The only thing to blame
Yeah,
is the
maybe so.
communication, the rhetoric, the way that the language, and
Language is
it's
a big part of
all
it. Absolutely.
Greed and
it's all
corruption, Chris.
it's where it starts. It's the foundation. The foundation is corrupt. It's
Communication
not
is the
built on
key.
solid ground.
Follow the money.
Yeah,
Because it's in
so
the mental
we're
plane. That's the swords and the tarot is
Talk
the
is
mental
cheap.
plane.
Talk is
It's
cheap.
not built
yeah.
on the ground. It's floating in the air. Same
Mhm.
concept.
All right, so
Prince of the air.
yeah,
And then
so
But
Chris,
that's the root cause.
yo,
That's the root cause.
what is?
The
it's key.
language.
It's
It's-
key. It's
Contracts.
very key.
I think
And it's so it's so subconscious. No one
What
even
is
really
the root
knows
of all
about it.
evil? What does the Bible tell
Insanity.
us is the root of all evil?
Money, I guess.
No,
I don't
no,
know.
not money.
Why are you asking that?
Because
Sex.
do you know the answer?
Something like that.
Do you know the answer, Sonia?
Sex.
Knowledge.
No.
See, well, there we go.
Sex.
Maybe that's why Jaffe is asking
What
the
does the
question.
Bible say the root
That's
of all
why
evil is?
Jaffe is asking
Doing
the
the naughty.
question.
I would say it's self because when
Because
I read
most
that,
people
I
have-
was like,
Love of
No.
money is the root of all
doesn't
evil.
make any sense.
It's not money. It's what Yvonne
No
said.
sense.
So the
And by the-
love of money. is
Right.
the root
And
of
by
all
the way,
evil.
Sonia's flying pretty high
Naughty.
tonight, folks. Just to
Yeah,
take
but-
note. She's
Oh,
on
zip
a
it, bro.
manic
Come on.
tear.
Sex is the root of all evil.
No, it's not.
Why
Not
do you
according to the
gotta be like
Bible.
that?
It's the
Jeffy,
love
why you always gotta
of
be like that?
money.
Can you just be cool? Why do you have to be
It's-
weird?
Who's she
Yeah.
lecturing now?
Sex
Who's she
is.
lecturing now?
She's probably lecturing
Somebody's
me.
mother.
You're such a nerd, bro.
Roger,
For
smart
sure.
nerd. Stop, quit nerding out, Roger. She's sick of it. She's had enough.
Sex
Okay.
is the root of all
Roger is
evil.
nowhere near the nerd you are.
So anyway,
yeah,
back to the
man.
communication. It's all the contracts and shit that are based on words that mean things in to some people, but to the people that are actually pulling the strings mean a whole lot different thing.
Yes.
And
Yep.
and
Absolutely.
and it allows for corruption beyond the
Comprehension.
beyond any
Of course.
way beyond things that you can even
Yeah.
think of.
Oh,
So
no, I get it. Yeah.
It's like a loophole
That's
almost.
endless
as soon-
number of
as soon-
loopholes.
as soon as we can legitimize or
Ambiguity.
certify our language, not every, like we've got to go around talking to everybody,
Well,
in
I don't know if y'all
just
ever
normal
been to Texas.
conversation, like you know what I'm saying,
Yes.
like everyday
I'm just
conversation, but
Yeah.
for
Plenty of things that
contracts,
nullify contracts.
yeah.
legal
Yeah.
reasons, and then like public
Lawful.
announcements,
Then lawful
Yep.
reasons. Is it
Mhm. And
legal
then
and lawful,
or
big
even,
difference.
or
but
even just like public information,
yeah,
like
yeah.
to
Oh,
just
sure. Yeah.
so that it's like
Public
you can't confuse people and like loopholes and all that bullshit to
Interpretation.
allow these few people to operate in ways that nobody else is allowed to.
above the
You know what
law.
I'm saying?
Above the law.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
don't
Chris,
know
Chris, are we done
bullshit.
with your introduction then, Chris?
I don't have introduction.
Well, because most of the people that they're
I
listening
am
probably
who I am.
no. Well, but it's so you're a
You're
mystery
supposed-
man. I
Yeah.
kind of help get the ball rolling along by, I think, fleshing
Well, I
things
mean,
out.
I did
From
I did
Atlanta.
kind of do an
You have this.
introduction. You can find me at minds.com at Chris Dogood.
That
That's two
works.
O's for
Yeah.
the do. Yeah, Chris Dogood.
All right, and
Emphasis
you're
on the
working on
doing
this
thing.
Minds.
Oh, Chris, are you in
project.
Hotlanta?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Well,
that's
kind of
correct. Yes.
in that area.
Okay,
That general
Atlanta.
area.
So Roger and maybe, I don't know. We could pass on sign it tonight. Maybe, I don't know what the deal is there, but
Just pass on me
I'm
and
just
do
gonna hang
Sonya
up. I'll
because
just get off here
that's
then.
the regular
don't be a
routine.
baby. Don't.
That's the regular
Baby,
routine.
well, I got other things I could be doing, bro. Okay, I'm just saying.
Your contributions are welcome.
That's why I warned you in pre-show.
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
exclusive
Your
close,
contribute.
by the way.
Don't. There's no reason
She's
to get
got a
all
boyfriend
uppity.
now.
Get your
She
nose
starts
out of
acting this
joint.
way when she's got a boyfriend.
She's got a
I
boyfriend.
can't hear both of you at once.
Yeah,
Does she have a
every
boyfriend?
One
time
at a
she gets a
time. One
boyfriend,
at
she
a time.
starts acting this way.
So who's her boyfriend now?
I don't know. Probably
Anyways.
some dude from Texas.
Oh,
She
that
said she's
guy,
gonna.
the old friend from
Oh my
Texas,
God,
Fort Worth.
dude, he's married.
The
Are you
spirit
guys
of kinky
lost your minds?
freedom.
What kind of girl do you think I
Yeah.
am?
Those Texas
Come
people,
on,
they're pretty
jeez.
broad-minded.
That's true.
She's
I never. I just.
Sonya's
I
a
just
broad,
This,
and he doesn't
Chris,
mind.
today under Yvonne.
Right?
You see this? You see what I
I
got?
just
All my
shared
exes live in
that string.
Texas.
So
I just shared that
What the
video
heck,
about
dude?
Texas punk rockers. You
Oh,
seen
right.
that, didn't you?
yeah, I don't the Austin underground scene as it was
I have
back in
not
the day.
seen
Is that
that.
right?
Yeah, they're freaking booty callers, dude. Like,
What's that? What you mean for women or for
What
guys?
century
Gay
are
or
you
what?
guys
What do you mean
from?
booty?
I mean,
like booty
you trying to move
callers and
on and
punk
up, or you
is
just
kind of
want to
like
hang
the
out
punk
here forever?
rockers that
I
are
don't get
they
it.
don't care what it is. They're just gonna go for it. You know what I
Punk
mean? It could
rockers?
be, yeah.
They'll hit anything that moves.
I'm just gonna.
Anything, dude. If you
That
better hide your
reminds
dogs.
me. Yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
so
Hey, Jaffe,
but hang on.
remember
but-
Jimmy Lee at the Palomino?
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
But hang on, Yvonne, hang on. Before we get to Jimmy Lee.
Oh, don't talk while I'm interrupting. Come on. No, seriously.
hell are
You
you
know
doing?
Jimmy Lee
Oh, God.
Yeah.
at the Palomino.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day, there's a girl there, Deirdre. She played back around 90. Well, it was before your time, 97, 98.
Right.
Anyway, she went back to DC and she started a band called the Four Bitching Babes.
Uh-huh.
And she wrote a song called "The Boob Fairy Never Came for Me."
Okay.
She's flat chested.
Oh, I see.
Anyways, the boob fairy never came for me. It's quite funny. Anyways, go ahead. That's all I have.
Remember, Yvonne, as a
Carry on.
musician, timing is everything. Just leave you with
That was
That's
perfect timing,
hilarious.
dude.
Wow.
That was so.
It may have been. We'll let the live streaming gods determine whether or not that's
Dude,
the case or not. So
These
was
chicks are
calm, dude.
crazy. The
Roger.
flat-chested chicks, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
as a woman, I've seen the craziness. Okay.
yeah.
So I'm not surprised there's a song involved.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there we go. And Roger,
Yeah. What do you want to know?
what would you like the world to know?
Oh, yeah. I'm Roger Hanson, and I live in Illinois, and I like pizza.
But you had nothing to do with Pizzagate. Obviously.
No, nothing to do
Not
with pizza.
that
I
kind,
just
not
like
that kind of pizza or
there's-
hot
there's
dogs.
three-
Are you much of a hot dog?
I like spaghetti and ice cream.
You know spaghetti is. You know what spaghetti is code for, don't you?
What is it?
I'll let you look that one up.
You
Pretty-
don't know.
pretty
You're
gnarly.
making it up. You're making it up.
There's lots of this coded language. So, yeah. But anyways, so Roger
But
Hanson.
if you want to find me, you can find me at the Wonderful World of Weirdness on YouTube and Rumble.
Mhm.
I do uploads right now every day on YouTube up until February. And I think it's every day on Rumble. I'm not quite sure because their way of scheduling stuff on there is really weird. I do put stuff on Minds still, but it's behind a paywall. That's going to be going towards doing streams on Minds for content like Minds Roundtable, but from this point on is going to be just paywall only. So anybody who wants to support that is more than welcome to join the membership and help out with that. I'm going to have some stuff coming out where Bob Dub actually did a reading for me when it comes to consciousness, which I've been working on here lately. I've made a couple of songs that I put out on it. And we're hoping to get Minds Roundtable going and back up again.
You're not putting that behind a paywall, though, are you?
We've got to.
You're putting the Minds Roundtable behind a paywall on Minds, not for the whole for the world to see and to freely engage in. You're gonna shouldn't you be? I mean, that's the last content that I would put behind a paywall. Because you want the people to see that and to get a better sense of what Minds is all about. Leave your other content behind the paywall.
And in order to have any kind of content stored and saved on Minds, you have to have Minds Plus, which costs $100 a month or a year now. And that's just for Minds Plus.
Yeah, I don't even know what that offers, so that would be a good talking area to explore.
But we will be doing that, and if you want to see it for free, you can also go to Locals and join the Locals group for free and see it there as well. So,
all right, thank you. The one and only Roger Hansen. So, World of Weirdness, among other
the wonderful world.
Sonia.
Of weirdness.
Yes.
How you doing?
We got half an hour.
Great.
Yvonne,
Thank you.
We're getting
Appreciate
sidetracked here. We're getting sidetracked because we need to. We got Zane Ivey there, for example. We got actually, Shina. Could you just maybe take a look at the comment end of things and see? What's
absolutely, Jeffy.
So,
I've totally got this. Just let me stop what I'm doing here.
Sure,
let me check it out here.
Yes.
Okay.
Zane Ivey talking about how busking laws in Seoul have changed in recent years, and he's not really down with going out and performing as much as a result of that. So thank you for that that feedback, Zane. Yvonne might want to give him a shout out as he typically does. I'm sure he's happy to do so. Fellow
Love you, Zane.
Yeah. Seoul-based American expat. Okay, and anything else there that to speak of that I haven't?
Ready for the feedback?
Go ahead there, Sonia. It's all yours.
Well, apparently D-Live isn't working for whatever reason, and this was brought to us by Roger Hansen 2731.
D-Live isn't working.
I believe he's a mod, actually.
Yeah, it's not working at the moment. It's the stream's down.
Okay, we're just gonna check out. Okay, I'll try to get on top of that here. That's really quite bizarre. It's not sure why that would.
They've been having issues since they did that 3-hour limit thing. I think they messed up their situation.
No, it says we're live here, man. You better run your refresh. It says we're live.
I'm
you know, D-Live has been. We've been picking up good numbers over there, actually, too. A lot of, for whatever reason, people dropping in.
I just refreshed, waiting.
More than YouTube is terrible when it comes to just the way that they handle things. Unfortunately, with the algorithms, the shadow banning, the throttling down, as you can imagine, all the crap that people have to endure, not just ourselves, obviously, but it's an ongoing
right.
struggle.
That's why you should put it on D-Live if you.
It is on D-Live. Hey, let me just now I'm not gonna. This will be here for maybe you folks in the live end of things here on Teams can see this, but the wider listening world cannot. It's something that we offer as part of our multimedia package via Patreon. If you're up for it, it's $1, a whole $1, and that includes not only the social media links, weekly talking points, URLs, and the like, but also the dankest memes of the week, many of which you can see in the slideshow, of course. So half of that dollar going directly back to charity. So gone but not forgotten. And remember, folks, when you're not talking, just to mute out. And if you want to jump in, just it helps to raise your hand. I can see that what's going on there rather than everybody talking over one another. So gone but not forgotten. Isaac Cappy, Tracy Twyman. This came across our radar this week. We could get into that at some point if people are so inclined, if they're up for it. And so if folks here on the roundtable have opened the talking point file, they can click on some of these URLs. Atlas, No Tail, 3i Atlas. That's latest developments on that front we can tackle and address if people would like to. Bill Burr losing half of his audience, subs, and whatnot. So all, I guess, in part because of the Rehab show that he did. Tim Dillon did not. But it wasn't even that. It was, I think, just his reaction to how he reacted in stating what turned out to be, I guess, blatant falsities, flagrant falsities, not even like with no apology or anything, canceling upcoming shows. Yeah, I hate Bill. He's a bit of an oddball, isn't he? Too bad for.
So what did Bill Burr do exactly?
You'll have to look it up while we're just scrolling down here. Look up Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Loses audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you mute out, if you would. Zionist run Paramount blacklisting actors. Maybe, who knows? Maybe next they'll not blacklist, but blackface. So, and a big shout out to DK Spiracy, aka Davin Butterfield, if DK is out there. It's always great to have Davin around, drunk as a skunk, and harassing people or just completely unleashing. So he's not a happy drunk, that's for damn sure. So, but he does good work. We don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. A lot of, if people are down with watching what he has to offer, great. The content is it's top quality. It's really decent quality, and but that damn alcohol thing, man. I tell you, I don't know if it makes you want to laugh or cry. So, Promise, Prism, Palantir, Pegasus Exposed. There's another link there. Promise, Prism, Palantir, Pegasus. What's up with all those P's, huh? And of course, we covered the Ostrich business, and it's going to leave a major black eye for the government. Canadian Food Inspection Agency just following orders. This whole thing of the PCR test, Kerry Mullis, what did he tell us? It was not to be used as a diagnostic tool. They hoodwinked the whole world with that. They really try, effectively, I guess, in their own way of thinking, managed to deceive as many people as they could get away with and manage. Just total nonsense, false positives, of course, and just amping up whatever you've got, just completely amping up the results. Totally over the top, ridiculous. Hysteria, of course. So, and it's like a predetermined outcome. So whether there's going to be a nationwide culling or not, anybody's guess. These people they're dangerous. They're hysterical reactionaries who like to promote fear porn as well, and clearly are not working in the best interests of anyone other than themselves. Certainly not in the best interests of Canadians, nor the world. And this is one of the reasons I can't help but see this as a major crime against humanity. So just a total bullshit rendering of the verdict from the highest level, saying not the court's job to argue science. It just weasel, just really just weasel words, mealy mouthed verdict.
Hey, Jaffe?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, in BC, like a lot of people are really upset about the culling of these ostriches and just horrible. Like there's no need for that. Like they didn't need to do that. It's just crazy. And it's just so bothersome.
Do people understand why
Um,
it was done? Why
I,
they did do it?
Not really,
They
because
don't know about the
they're
eggs and the
speaking with
antigens?
forked tongue. Because well, these eggs are supposed to heal people somehow.
Well, they boost our immunity.
They have healing properties.
The
Yeah,
antigens, yes.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
And in addition, you may have heard, in New Zealand, they're destroying beehives.
Yeah.
For no reason at all.
Similar,
It's just really
very
screwed up.
similar bullshit. It's Fabian
Yeah,
socialism.
Carney needs to go back to the circus.
Well, he's running a circus right now, Clown World. He's the at the helm essentially of Canada's Clown World agenda, and the country couldn't be going down any faster, frankly.
I
You look,
honestly think the pesticide issue is one thing with England too that I think is a part of that bee problem because England refuses to give up pesticides that are killing the bee population.
how about the Wi-Fi?
Well, I mean pesticides specifically. They've been fighting it for like 20 years now.
What about the Wi-Fi though, like the vibration frequency? Do you know that apparently that could be amped up to the point where everyone above ground, I guess, is affected, impacted, and to the point where we just drop dead essentially. It's the way, like 60 megahertz or something to that effect. So it's a major, scalar weaponry, which they say on the one hand, non-lethal this and non-lethal that. Well, not if you amp it up, or it has the sort of unforeseen side effects and impact. Some people that are hypersensitive to certain things like tasers, maybe with a heart condition or what have you. And so just total bullshit, endless bullshit from people who just can't help themselves. So these willing servants of evil, that's what we're up against, clear across the board, folks. And, peace, order, and good government was what Canada was founded on. And if you don't have good government, how do you expect any peace or order? It just doesn't make any sense. And now what we're seeing with the land claims, the land grabs out of Kamloops, first it started with Richmond, and this is all in the last couple of weeks. If people want to look this up, if they're not up to speed, Richmond, talk, I guess now Cowichan, Kamloops. I don't think it's going to end there. When I went back to return to the Lakes District, Bulkley Valley region, the Lakes District in particular, north central BC, it had all been taken over by the natives, far further than anything, the magnitude at to which they really uh, dominated prior to my exiting. Interestingly, so uh, it's sad, and it's sad in a lot of ways, but it's also, I think, shaping up to prove itself potentially to be a recipe for disaster. People can work that out themselves, how that could potentially unfold via British Columbia. Will there be Alberta separation? So some pushback I hear. It'd be good to have Naroki on board for this, obviously, but within the context of Alberta separation, uh, trying to oust, I guess, the teachers' unions and and others of that ilk, working nurses as well, unions, trying to oust
Got about
Premier
4 minutes.
Smith. Oh, thank you. Well, that's on your end, unfortunately, because uh,
Oh, my bad.
the call. Oh, the call will drop. It'll end the call. And we'll have to cut away to commercial break. So, but thank you for the up. Actually, thank you for that. So Israel. Back to the talking points here. Ivermectin, mocking as a horse drug. Now, of course, as it turns out, could potentially cure cancer.
Hmm.
It's wow. It's like, gee, where have we seen this before, huh? Mocking the ostrich
Right.
eggs, right? Mocking, or actually, totally wanting to destroy the ostrich eggs, the ones that were the established herd immunity. Just imagine what they'd be producing if they had been allowed to live. They posed a major threat to the interest of big pharma, and there's more to the story than that, even as far as the timing of everything as it unfolded. Once the eggs were determined to contain these powerful antigens, immunity boosting antigens, Big Pharma bought out the company that had done the scientific analysis, and that outfit, the company immediately uh, had to abide by a non-disclosure agreement. Uh, and so that when the people at Universal Ostrich Farms called them back, they said, yeah, well, this it looks, uh, yes, what the eggs potentially stand to offer is really quite significant. However, we can't talk to you anymore. That's we can't say anything more because of this NDA. Big Pharma had bought them out, and then they sent in the goons with these fake, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency goons, useful idiots, to
There's a way to end all these bullshit things and get the power out of their hands.
let me guess, language games.
Well, have you or anybody on the panel or whatever you want to call it heard of
RC syntax.
a documentary series called War Castles?
Nope, not I.
All right. Well, whenever y'all have time, check out a documentary series called War Castles.
Okay.
And uh, I'd love to hear y'all's take on that and have a broader conversation about it. It has to deal with not only the language, but how it encompasses the broader or the bigger picture of how the language got us to this point and where we actually are.
21st century digital feudalism.
Something like that.
Well, hasn't come too far from a thousand years ago,
Neo
really.
feudalism.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
That's
what
right.
Bruce Coburn
Yeah,
calls it.
that's
Neo
right.
feudalism.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, Israel arresting the IDF rape prosecutor whistleblower. So it's okay to rape the Gaza Semites, the Palestinians, but don't leak the video. And meanwhile, on a similarly on the rape front, which the word itself means to take by force, Swedish court rules it wasn't long enough. It was just a short rape, so it doesn't really count. It's not an issue, not something we need to worry about, is what they're telling us. ICE very busy on the home front. A lot of arrests going down every day. They're doing a great job, it seems. Maybe going a little too overboard at times. It'll be interesting to see what documentaries are produced covering this whole business. But there's a lot of they're exposing a lot of corruption too, corrupt cops and officials that are being held to account. So there's more I was going to add to that. but we'll just have to keep things moving along. 4 tons of fentanyl seized? Are you kidding me? Somebody, we need to fact check that one. Obviously, yeah. Move your business to the U.S. just like I did, says Mark Carney. And that's, guess what, folks? That's where the majority, apparently, of his personal wealth and assets reside, out of the U.S. So what does he care about Trump's tariffs, right? Isn't that something, conflict of interest? All right, so let's see. We can maybe finish off here. Well, tell you what, we'll drop back in and pick up on this uh, more or less after the commercial break. I think would probably be the best way of doing things. Be sure to leave your thoughts, comments, and questions here via the chat end of things. And see Zane, Ivy, pretty busy, which is great. Michael Yon on the ongoing world war. All right. First they start with euthanasia, then they flip the birds into the next world. Geez, I don't know what that means exactly, Zane, but we can flesh that one out first. First they start with euthanasia, then they flip the birds into the next world. Yes, was I the only one who? I'm probably not, who prayed, for those ostriches, and just the way they had to suffer. The people are just savages, just brutal. Just gotta wonder about the mindset. Some of these people. They say it is a spiritual war that we've been thrown into here, so definitely something to keep in mind. Yvonne, I don't know whether you or not you remember coming to Korea later, but talking with Dan Godston, the guy who started up SAN years ago, this morning via Skype. Okay, well, I think unless he's listening out there in real time, we'll have to maybe try to remind him of this after the break. Welcome Alberta as the 51st state. Yeah, I kind of do. I'm tired of it, and I'm not sure if that's what they've done. The Hegelian dialectic, just driving people to the point where they say enough. What would any rational person do then agree that it has become America's manifest destiny to consume. One might even say subsume. Not sure if that's the best way. The best outcome Canadians would be looking forward to, but yeah, Canada itself, China, or China India. Who the hell knows what to call it these days? Roger Hansen saying he's going to make some coffee. That's good. Yeah, I'll be getting a little bit of that during the break here myself. So, and a lot of great journalism done right there at Ground Zero, of course, via Edgewood, BC. I think it's within about 100 miles of Vernon, British Columbia. People look on the map, and just a real tragedy. And the authorities, Carney, no, it's not the Canadian, but it's the World Health Organization inspection food agency, or to be clear, once again, the World Unhealth Organization food inspection agency. Big mistake in allowing any international globalist entity to overcome, subsume, there's that word again, pretty sure it's being used in the proper context, a nation's sovereignty. that's exactly what we've seen. The debt, Canada's national debt, completely out of control. Didn't Carney completely destroy the Bank of England? It's, word has it. I haven't looked into that too deeply, but that's the version of events that's going around. He looted the Canadian Treasury as in order to build up a sufficient war chest for his recent, the latest run at becoming prime minister, something to the tune of $75 billion, if you can believe that. Look into it, folks. $75 billion. Looting the Canadian Treasury. Hardly anyone knows about this, is talking about it. There's some in the media that are aware, obviously. People paying, attention to these things, following them a little more closely than most others. And it's one way of buying votes, really, is spreading that money around. Frankly, I guess a lot of it just went to buying support, securing support for the last election. Speaking of which, there's talk of another election coming up potentially in January. So I don't know if this would have to do with a non-confidence motion or what exactly, but we'll see. And also, let's not forget, from someone who was around long enough, working on the inside, that you would think he would know the way that the whole business, the way that things operate. Obviously, there are no mistakes in politics. If it happens a certain way, it was meant to. Franklin D. Roosevelt. All right, so enough said. Now it looks like Sonia's dropped out. Stoned to the bejesus. Oh man, flying high, a little sensitive, maybe a little hypersensitive, but no, always a welcome voice. Just maybe not the best idea when she's super stoned. All right. We want everyone to have a good time, of course, but wow. She's pretty funny and entertaining, whatever the case. But all right, the boss of all bosses. That's Putin's overseer, from what sources are telling us there. So how about that, huh? Red Dragon Herbs and Teas. With any order of $25 or more, you will immediately receive a 10% discount. All you simply have to do is let Ryan know one of two things, either Pirate Radio or Pirate Code. You will unlock that great 10% savings on your order. Something you want to take note of, let them know. Pirate Radio, Pirate Code. Meanwhile, over on the CannaSense Cannabis Collective front, 5813 is our referral link number, 5813. We'll be back here right after this quick break. Do not touch that radio dial or computer mouse.
Medical cannabis is now legal by telemedicine. Get the medicine you need by getting reviewed for a medical cannabis card. Contactless appointments available at CannaSense.com. For as low as $39, you can get reviewed for a medical cannabis card. That's CannaSense.com for a licensed medical cannabis doctor review. CannaSense.com has all the information you need to get connected with a doctor for a $39 medical cannabis appointment. CANNASENSE.com. CanaSense is common sense.
Catering exclusively to the Des Moines, Iowa area and beyond. Red Dragon Herbs and Teas is a small, family-owned business dedicated to the creation of only the finest quality artisan herbal tea blends. Drawing upon many of the world's most richly established customs and traditions, Red Dragon Herbs' mission is about more than just getting their products out to the market. They also strive to help educate their customers on the wider benefits, history, and folklore of all their plants. Of course, any seasoned pirate knows when they're fixin' to tango with the Kraken, you best be powered up with at least one of the finest select quality premium items freely offered via Red Dragon Herbs and Teas wide inventory. Choosing from any of their caffeine-free, headache relief, or rest and relaxation blends, history has proven their products among the best sources of scurvy prevention and vitamin supplementation. Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, bringing you guaranteed homegrown health relief.
Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, bringing you guaranteed homegrown health relief. We are back with the second half of this week's live streaming edition of World Pirate Radio News. It's show segment number 340. I myself, as always, your trusted host and companion of these digital, often all too intrepid, maybe that too. Mostly just intrepid, however. Airwaves. Jaffe Ryder. WPRPN.com is the website you'll want to drop by. Take a look at. Sign up is free. All you simply need is a username, password, and email. Be sure as well to see what we've got going on via the show description end of things. We have a Patreon presence along with, actually I don't think mentioned our PayPal to this point. Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com. That's pirate, the numeral 1 radio at protonmail.com. If you'd like to hit us up with any PayPal support for the work that we do here, nearly 10 years to this point of all free, complimentary archives. Also, if you have any show suggestions or live streaming guest ideas you'd like to bounce off of us, that's the way to do it, through the email. So we have merchandise up for grabs. Drop by galacticfire.com is the website you want to explore. galacticfire.com. And digital love, anything along those lines, even just thinking outside the box, how you can help us out, how you can help support the upcoming Operation Secret Santa. I think it's our 11th annual Operation Secret Santa charity, Christmas charity, outreach telethon. We accept, we solicit no direct donations. We prefer that people simply sponsor folks out there who are in need. We can help facilitate that as a third party fixer essentially, or someone that can point you in the right direction. And your identity, you reserve the right to remain anonymous. And of course, any other live streamer can take part. Everyone can take part in their own way, obviously, but live streamers are always welcome in reaching out, connecting, doing what they can to come on board and expand the network. That can ultimately prove to be a pretty powerful thing. Obviously, more hands make for light work. We've all heard that one before, haven't we? So, and half of everything that we do manage to generate as far as the charity end of things throughout the course of our regular live streaming year goes directly back to charity. The Operation Secret Santa, everything that we everything that we have coming our way is earmarked directly for redistribution. So right now, in the process of reaching out, reconnecting with a few of the folks, hopefully, that we had on board here earlier. We should do the screen share, I suppose, before we do anything else. Often forget to take care of that end of things. Not sure if Robert Morningstar is going to be making himself available this go round. We'll just have to wait and see. We had uh, Roger from out of Illinois, West Frankfort, Illinois, who I think has returned to the fold. Are you there with us, Roger? Looks like you.
Yeah,
All right. Hey, good stuff.
I made it right now.
Oh, there's Do Better. Good, excellent. So, yeah, we haven't heard too
Close the
much
door.
from Vinny. Vinny from Brooklyn's been laying pretty low the last little while. Not sure why that is, but
There he is, right there. You called him.
just
Okay, never
well,
mind.
we're just calling him. So
Yeah,
some of these people they're online, but
he's
they're
probably wanted by the law at the moment.
Vinny from Brooklyn.
Yeah, he's been getting pretty rowdy.
Yeah, I don't think so. He does just amazingly great over it. Has everyone seen his BitChute channel?
I watched him on X, or I did it when I was active on there. He's more into. In my opinion, he's got better content on X.
Really?
Yeah, he
Well,
really does.
but on BitChute, they're all videos, really, mostly, right? That's the whole point. Video content.
Yeah.
How do you think it's different? Just why is
Well,
it different?
he actually gets into like his comments and stuff too. You know what I mean? Like he's actually communicating with you. Whenever you talk to him, he talks back with you, and
Oh, I see.
you can.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah, sure. Robert Morningstar has connected with us here for how long exactly? I have no idea. Mr. Morningstar, good to have you reach out to us here this week.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I can only stay a little while. I'm, quite frankly, I'm pretty tired. It's been a long week and long weekend, and I need to catch up with some sleep.
You
As
sound.
you know, you and I stayed up till. Well, I'm just getting up. You and I stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning yesterday, but I actually went to sleep at 7 in the morning.
Oh boy.
Working. But anyway, I'm here for a little while.
Well, let it all hang out then, my friend. We covered a number of issues last night. I don't know if you've had the chance to see what talking points we have in place this go round. Of course, as
No.
always, everyone's free to add their own stories or issues and angles. That's what it's all about, really. So, Three Eye Atlas, along with the Ostriches, For starters, I suppose. Thoughts?
Well, some people are claiming to be receiving signals now from 3i Atlas in different places in the United States.
Yeah. Northern
And-
Lights. Northern Lights.
Well, I haven't seen them. I haven't been out to look.
It's all over X right now. So I think apparently there seems to be some sort of who is this? The sun is just going like you were talking earthquakes last night too, right?
Yeah, well, that's actually that might be related to the change in direction, relative direction. Jupiter went retrograde yesterday.
Right.
Is it? Yeah, it's now the 12th. Yeah, so on the 11th, Jupiter went retrograde, and that means it appears to reverse its course. It does, and Venus does. But that has to do with the relative motion of the Earth in its orbit relative to Jupiter's. So strange gravitational effects can be expected during that time. So maybe this Northern Lights effect is possibly related to that.
All the Earth's. Oh, we have to turn down
the electromagnetic field of the Earth is affected not just by the sun, but Jupiter is a very powerful effect. I remember reading a book back in the late 1970s called The Jupiter Effect, which was one of those cataclysmic alarm books.
Yeah.
That was saying that when the grand alignments of the planets occurred, that's when all the planets really come into a line in a row.
Yeah.
That summation of gravitational forces was going to cause California to fall into the ocean and, perturbations of the atmosphere. It came and went without that cataclysm happening.
That wasn't Immanuel Velikovsky, was it?
No, his story was the close passage of Mars and Earth. Very close passage between
Velikovsky.
Mars. Yeah.
I see.
That became so close that there were electrical storms generated between Mars and the Earth, and gravitational forces that tossed the oceans out of their beds and caused a flood.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting book.
Maximum Overdrive.
More interesting book. A more interesting book is called Cataclysmic Evolution.
Oh yeah. Right.
When I think of the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights, wherever you want to call them, I always think of Maximum Overdrive, that movie.
Why's that?
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, because that's kind of like the Aurora Borealis came over the Earth, and then all the machines started turning on. And
that wasn't Mel Gibson, was it?
No,
that was Stephen King.
Emilio Estevez. Yeah, Stephen King. Emilio Estevez.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Well, it is plasma. It is electromagnetic fluid, and sometimes it spills over there. We have had the Northern Lights come down visible as south as Washington State, northern New York. I myself haven't seen them.
Get on X, Robert. It could be quite. You might be quite surprised with what you come across. What I'm gonna do. I was kind of lazy about this whole thing last time. You remember, just like last year, a few months ago, Aurora Borealis was in the news. What I'm gonna do here? I've got to get the rag out of my beep and post this original song that I wrote. Maybe that'll help to cheer Sonia up a little bit. She came in on a real kind of manic sativa high. She hasn't been drinking, she's been smoking, and she just decided to leave on her own free will and accord, I guess. So, but prior to that, in the pre-show, she was all about her and Yvonne. It's like, yeah, you got to get more of your music out there. It's like really good, get it out there. So, and this is I wrote the song called Aurora Borealis, and I'm not sure if you remember with Walking on Thin Ice, how it just kind of segued into Dear Prudence and then back into the original song. But similarly with this Aurora Borealis, there's the famous old folk song Scarborough Fair is what it transitions into before moving back out and continuing along. So anyone out there that would like to pick up, interested in covering these songs, we're looking for more well-established acts who can do so and help to reach a wider audience, of course. So I'm a songwriter. That's my hobby. Okay. Bloody hell, there's some more. Ice has been running. They've been doing a heck of a job, have they not? Even to the point I was making the argument in the first, the front end of things, maybe going a little too far in some cases, obviously, and like too many, making the wrong decisions, getting a hold of people who really should be left alone, and they're the actual American citizens, or however that all breaks down. But they've been picking a lot of corrupt officials too. Not least of whom was the governor of, not Maine, and Maine is just a it's just a dumpster fire, it seems, with Chinese influence. I think we were talking about that last night. Prince Edward Island, China going so, and we're talking CCP here, folks. 1/4 of essentially the country's population. The other 3/4 either struggle to make to live and sustain themselves. It's all about sustainability, right? Or it's just utter despair, poverty, and homelessness, which is a major issue via China at present. And did you not hear? Oh, I'm jumping around a little bit, but that's just the way it goes sometimes, trying to flesh things out a little bit more. You talked about this, Robert, this up to as many as a billion Chinese have gone missing. At first it's like, well,
Yeah.
this is the kind of the claims and evidence business, extraordinary claims, extraordinary evidence.
Well, I've
But
been covering that since the COVID
that
lockdown
you might have
started
hit on
here.
something. There was this
Yeah,
intelligence
well,
analysis. I'll send you something
yeah,
after.
this was information I got through a Chinese reporter
That's right.
named Lee, and
Yeah,
she has a show, Lee's Straight Talk.
that's right.
Has a lot of contacts inside China. Now, this is
Crazy.
earlier this year. I covered it. I actually played her
Oh my
reports on
God.
it. But going back to the COVID era, when China got locked in to itself, with all the people sealed in those buildings and
Yep.
throwing all the pets out the window and
God.
killing all the cats and the
jeez.
dogs. But
God Almighty.
I believe that they have suffered a huge population loss, because at the time I got reports that they had put out these machines that were capable of evaporating thousands of people per day, hundreds of people per hour. They were like garbage trucks into which they would load 450 bodies.
The death vans.
Yeah, but these were already dead people.
Oh God.
And they would just zap them and incinerate them in 1 hour. And they had thousands of these all over China, picking up the bodies and throwing them in.
Your friend
Give
from
me a second.
Montana.
This is
Yeah.
probably, this is
Just
my
mute
friend.
out. Sure. I'll add to this.
Talon. I'll be right back.
Yeah, just mute out and it'll all be good. You might want to mute me out too. But there's millions apparently of Chinese that are trying to enter Vietnam at present. They're just flooding the borders. How the story goes. Hashtag fact check. And South Korea here as well too. It's a bit of a head scratcher. I haven't looked as deeply into things as I should have, but they have really here in Korea loosened up the visa restrictions to where there are none. You don't need a visa anymore to enter into South Korea, is what I'm hearing, kind of how the story goes. All you need to do is show Chinese passport. Who knows if even that. One of the things that's led to is the purchase of increasing amount of South Korean real estate and land. And if you look at a map of Asia, there's not, I mean, South Korea is not a big country. It's the linchpin, I would argue. It's a geopolitical strategic linchpin to Southeast Asia. So while we're on the China front, Canada, once again, PEI, just a endless, unchecked, you hear about checks and balances. Well, same thing's even happening in America, where it seems Trump is not checking much, checks and balances. He's just throwing the floodgates open to, I'm not sure, Chris, have you heard, or maybe Roger, the number of students that, Trump is now welcoming into the U.S., and this is all part of the horse trading, I guess, that goes on, kind of quid pro quo, this for that. But also 50-year mortgages, Trump getting booed at a recent NFL game. Did everyone pick up on that? And where, that was quite humiliating for him.
I heard the
Was it not?
boos and the cheers and it was clapping and everything going
I
on.
see.
So it wasn't
Okay.
just boos.
Was it just a mix? Was it a mix of
Yeah,
everything?
it was just a mix. Yeah.
Mixed. Okay.
So, but it's all part of the show. Whatever.
Well, yeah, you got to take the
way that the media spins everything. You know what I mean?
That's filter and spin. That's right. Yeah. Gatekeeping. That's a huge issue. We brought that up yesterday with the adult class here in Korea, as the media is one of their main, the way they function. Gatekeeping. Not us so much in the independent world. Well, I mean, no, it's like it's pretty wide open.
So the independent world, that's so
us. It's not those others out there that have their agenda.
I get what you're saying. But so many people don't understand that it's hard to disseminate between what is the independent media nowadays.
Yeah, discern,
because it's been so infiltrated by the mainstream media.
Stay in your lane. That's what I say. Stay in your fucking lane.
And it's like so there's half of them that are, probably more than half, that are actually paid, and they're only presenting whatever they're being told to present. Then you have the people that have kind of ridden the coattails, and they're seeing what people are being paid for, so they're just going along with that same narrative.
Look at the Rogan sphere.
They can get their popularity and their cash.
That's right.
So they may not be directly being paid by so and so to espouse whatever narrative, but they're saying the same shit because that's what they're getting from their other people that they watch.
Slick operations, big budgets, big money. That's right. And was it you that was bringing this up last week, as a matter of fact, talking about this issue? Where was I hearing this recently? So
possible.
But I mean, we're about as ghetto as it gets. Go ahead, Robert. Robert, go ahead.
Give him a second.
Yeah, can you hear us?
I can hear you now. I just got a call from Alan Fredrickson. I think you should call him in. He's got a very interesting subject, which is Apollo 18, 19, and 20, and the reason that Apollo 13 was sabotaged. Which, by the way, Richard Hoagland and I believe was part of the NASA ritual sacrifice cult.
Okay, so it's a great issue, of course, but we've only got a limited amount of time. Is this applicable, or does it relate in any way to this week's news cycle or?
Absolutely not. This is just surfaced.
Oh, you're here already.
Yeah, how you doing? What happened was I watched a science fiction audiobook this evening, and they had mentioned a series of events that I know that are true. And a lot of times this disclosure is coming through science fiction,
Sure.
the discussion of technology and things like that. But this has to do with, instead of us exploring and going to the moon to explore, there was a couple of key things.
We just lost him. Why did he drop out?
Sure. One of them is the fact that we had compressed all of these different missions. We originally were going to go to the moon like every 2 years. All of a sudden, we're going to the moon, just a few months apart. Okay, from 12 all the way to 17, and then 18, 19, and 20, all the motors and everything were made, but we have a static display that doesn't work. Where did those 3 motors go? I can tell you where they went. That much we've kind of debunked. They went over to Russia. And then there is a video or it's circulating online. It's been corrupted by a lot of fakes that's mixed in with the video, but it was a combination of Russian cosmonaut and American astronaut technology in the same single landing unit or lunar module.
Mm-hmm.
And that is documented under what they call Mona Lisa Apollo 20. If you look at that.
The Mona Lisa is when they retrieved the body. And this is really interesting because when they were going to the moon, Apollo 11, I listened to all the transmissions that they broadcast, and there was a weird one that NASA broadcast saying, 11, this is Houston. We just got a note here. A couple of thousand years ago, a Chinese princess was taken to the moon by a tall white rabbit.
Yeah.
And, her name is Chang-O. So when you get there, we'd like you to take a look around and let us know if you see anyone. And the response was dead serious. I thought, are they joking? Are they kidding? And the response from the astronaut was just deadpan, straight serious. But then, after I got into the Chinese culture, studying Chinese literature, I came across the story of Chang-O. And she and her husband were involved in alchemy, and they were messing around with the pill of immortality and all that. And she took a double potion, and it says that this 6 foot tall Chinese, 6 foot tall gray rabbit took her to the moon. And she floated off and went to the moon, and that she was resident there. So when this Mona Lisa body was recovered,
hang on,
she
Alan.
looks Tibetan, to be honest. She looks Tibetan.
Yeah, she does.
The body that they recovered.
Yeah.
And I thought, I also got to see photographs from Apollo 14 that were never released to the public. And there was something inside the Apollo 14 spacecraft that they brought back. They showed one picture of it.
Raise your hand, Alan.
Like a tabletop. It was on like a tabletop, and it looked like a long, I want to say sarcophagus, but the shape of it was like a long plaster casket. And then years later, they bring out this Apollo 20 story. And I give it credence. And the Chinese, as you know, Tai Chi came from the moon.
Okay.
It's a plain fact, Chinese history.
Oh, how about that?
The emperor was taken to the moon and shown this dance, which was called rainbow dancing at that time, but it evolved into Tai Chi.
Did it have anything to do with Bodhidharma, or was he simply attributed as having launched Shaolin and spreading
Bodhidharma
Buddhism?
never went to the moon. He
Nothing.
was
no Tai Chi.
No, no,
Okay.
he did Shaolin,
Yeah.
but he was a Hindu. He was an Indian monk.
Yeah, he had blue eyes. The Chinese
He had blue
texts,
eyes,
they say he had
and
blue
you know
eyes.
what? They said that he cut his eyelids off
Oh, God.
because no, really, that he always was insistent that you had to be present in your meditation, and he had a following, and he fell asleep. And when his students found he fell asleep, they were mocking him, and he got so angry. He said, "Oh, I'm never going to do that again." So he sliced off his eyelids.
Takes dedication.
I don't think so.
So
Mutilation.
just a quick. We'll get back to Alan here momentarily.
Yeah, let's go back to Alan.
Well,
'cause he's
but
got
hang
a-
on. But with the Tai Chi, that I've always understood that the motion and the forms were inspired to a large extent by the monks watching the movement of the animals themselves.
That's one angle of the story. That's the story of John Sun Fung, that he looked out his window and saw a fight between a white crane and a snake, and he saw the movements and that he incorporated them. But that's in the 1100s. This goes back even farther.
Okay.
And there is a code language. Shan Sun Fung means the field with the three graceful humps, three graceful humps on a field. And I thought, that sounds to me like an allegory of the pyramids of Giza. Three graceful humps. And Zhang is a square surface. Like when you talk about a table or a sheet of paper, when rectangular or square, you have a thing called measures. And Zhang is a measure for a plane, a flat plane that's rectangular.
Room in Korea is you say Kongpu Zhang is room, or area.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's go back to Alan and get the
but before that, because this will escape my mind, just briefly, you mentioned the pyramid, the Giza plateau, and the alignment of the three pyramids. I guess, isn't there something similar that mirrored on Mars?
Yes, the three volcanoes of Creus Mons. They call the Tarsus Montes, the three volcanoes in a row in relationship to Olympus Mons. I discovered that in 1998. That actually, I believe that Giza, like
you discovered it, Robert? No, you discovered this?
I discovered that relationship.
Wow, how about that, eh?
On the night that the Titanic went down, I stayed up in meditation for hours from the time it was hit by the iceberg, or it hit the iceberg and it went down. I stayed in meditation, and then I was really energized, and I found some maps of Giza, and I correlated them with. I mean, I saw it in an instant. This guy Piazzi Smith was one of the first pyramidologists, and he went up in this area, and he was a surveyor, so he laid out the Giza Plateau and the three pyramids. But then he looked across the Qatar Depression, Qatar, the Qatar Depression, the lowest point in that area, 450 feet below sea level, all the way to Libya, where there's this mountain, and he made the mountain really prominent. He put the Giza pyramids in scale, but then he shrunk the Qatar basin so he could include this mountain, and it was called Al-Wajid. And I got really curious. I looked at it the same night I found this map of Mars and the three volcanoes called the Tarsus Montes, and in their relationship to Olympus Mons, and this other area that's called Solus Lacus. All of it, it's a like the Japanese miniature garden. They terraform their gardens, and that's what I think Giza is. And it's always been said that the pyramids were a monument the Egyptians laid out to honor the dead. that and they're aligned also to the 3 stars of Orion, the belt stars of Orion. So all of these converged, and yes, it is.
Maybe
It's a mock.
to honor
It's a
the
mock.
dead of Mars.
The dead of
We
Mars.
have
The
gone
Mars
so
that's
far off
Martian
of what I was
cataclysm.
trying to talk about now.
We'll circle back. Go ahead, Alan. Go ahead. We're back to you.
Anyway, I discovered something tonight that put together a lot of well, just dead ends and black holes in the investigation for Apollo. What it suggested, instead of us going and exploring, we actually had radio contact, and we made a deal, and we went up to the moon activating an alien structure. And that alien structure was finalized in Apollo 17. 18, 19, and 20, we went up there in order to collect our reward for it.
What alien structure was activated?
Apparently a multi-dimensional structure is what this story is suggesting, but more likely something that has to do with the Linda Moulton Howell research concerning the South Pole. Because as soon as this thing created it, now we've all seen the radio antenna that's supposed to be on the moon. What this is suggesting is that radio antenna did not surface or become visible on the moon until after Apollo 17.
I was told that Apollo astronauts were directed to look for entrances into the interior of the moon. And
that was irrelevant. They had a 2-mile wide hyperdimensional geometric structure that was continuously moving but flowering like a flower petal, and was absolutely symmetric. And the other description that this story gave, which actually hit another black hole or dead end and started filling it in, was there was apparently eyes or monitors all along, like what would be inside out to right side out tentacles. And these tentacles had eyes on them, and it was looking at Apollo 13. And due to this,
Apollo 13,
what happened, it came out from underneath the moon and surfaced as Apollo 13 was going over it, and then followed Apollo 13 partially submerged in the moon. And all of this happened, and the actual there was always something wrong with the timeline on Apollo 13 for the explosion. And the explosion actually happened 6 hours prior to their actual announcement, because they had to go back and rewrite all the announcements from the time of the explosion in order to make things.
Hoagland believes that Apollo 1 and Apollo 13 were parts of these rituals involving human sacrifice, and that the paperclip Nazis had
that's belittling it. That's so underneath what actually happened. Okay,
so
that would suggest something, selfish and self-contained to Earth. No, this was actually a deal that was being made with an entity on the moon itself.
What entity?
Radio contact in the late 50s, and they had made that decision by the 60s, and then accelerated in the 70s in order to complete the contract. And that would also explain another little black hole of Neil Armstrong performing the Masonic rituals.
Who is this off-planet entity?
Well, that's what's new. Now, I need to go back into Sumerian and stuff and do some more research to see if I can find a parallel of description or a common denominator that would explain, rather than what this book is saying, something that would fill that gap.
Okay, what more can you tell us about Three Eye Atlas? The relevance there? Anything or nothing at all?
to the Atlas currently.
3i Atlas,
I
correct.
think that's pretty well solved. The problem is nobody's actually talking about it. They want to talk about aliens and remote views, and they're seeing aliens. And no, there's two things that we're looking at. After it went through the parabola of the sun, it broke up into 16 different pieces. Each one of these pieces are about the same size.
I got a report on this right away. Hold on. This is important. This comes from a very serious professional, Joseph Foster. He's out in New Jersey. He's out at the radio telescope over there, and he's in contact with radio telescopes,
observatory,
all over. And he sent me this today. Not sure what to make of this. However, it seems kind of interesting. A radio signal has been received by the Meerkat telescope in South Africa from 3i Atlas in the 1665 to 1667 megahertz range. That's hydroxyl free radicals. That's the frequency of hydroxyl free radicals. That is also pretty close to the 1.6 gigahertz frequency observed at the Skinwalker Ranch. Could this be a significant transmission, even though it supposedly throws cold water on the belief that 3i Atlas is an alien manufacturer? Right. Is it coincidental?
It's also in sync with the WOW signal.
Yes,
All of these things are related at this point, and I would almost agree with all of that. The problem is it's not alien. It was one generation, one technical generation dating back to the time of Atlantis that this was launched. This was prior to light speed. Now, most of the aliens that we know that are traveling at all is light speed. The only explanation for this returning would be the story of Star Trek, where Voyager was returned and intercepted by some alien. No, this may be exactly the story of Voyager, only a technical generation behind us.
Okay, hang on a second. Hang on. I'm just like to maybe include the other two guest panel members, Do Better out of Atlanta and Roger, just to invite or ask them if they have anything that they'd like to contribute before we continue on. Chris, Roger, anything that's come your way or that you could perhaps contribute?
Most of my research it has to do actually with more consciousness than it does with UFOs and
astrophysics,
ghosts, because a lot of people love to jump on the whole UFO bandwagon, and mostly they want to see flying saucers and spooky ghosts, and there's always something that underlines it. So for me, what I've been finding out about it is people are becoming more conscious, not only in our minds, but also technologically. So we're able to see things that we weren't able to see before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the apocalypse, isn't it? Everything that has been occulted or hidden up to this point, now, many things, more the tendency to be brought out into the light, revealed.
I made 2 posts in your chat earlier with Manly P. Hall. He made a really good argument there, but at the time that he did that speech, they weren't as advanced technologically as what they are now. So there's a lot more understanding when it comes to consciousness, especially with AI. That's opened up a whole new avenue when it comes to consciousness. What Manly P. Hall is talking about with the Jacob's Ladder and stuff has a lot to do with things that are going on today that we can connect to, like when Robert was talking about the Aurora Borealis. Okay, that's straight up Manly P. Hall.
He wrote about magnetism a lot, and it's fantastic. There's a whole lecture on magnetism that he gave. I recommend it. But I want to mention this coming Saturday, November 15th in New York City, I'm going to speak on a UFO panel at the New Life Expo. It's at 3 p.m. on November 15th, 4 West 43rd Street. If you're in New York, this is Stephen Bassett's going to be there. Laura Eisenhower.
Oh, wow.
Some big
good stuff, Robert. Be sure to give us a plug if you would. A shout out to WPRPN.com.
Yes, I'll tell them they tune in. Okay, back to you.
All right.
Back
Well,
to,
I mean, things. Yeah, we got comments here coming to us via the Peanut Gallery. Zane Ivy talking about sort of echoing the sentiments that indeed. Let's see here. As far as the U.S. citizens being arrested or held by immigration agents, as we were discussing earlier, most often due to database mismatches, biographical collisions, name, date of birth, outdated records, etc. Chinese propaganda that he's seen, Zane tells us, suggesting they're looking forward to North and South Korean unification after U.S. power fails. Let's not forget that China, it should come as no surprise with the way that China is overtaking, in many ways, overtaking and subsuming, is that the correct word? The West via land purchases. Here in South Korea, quite similarly, they were tapped in a whole host of other areas too, not just real estate and strategic purchases too. It must be emphasized, surrounding.
We're passing laws here that they can't.
Well, yeah. Well, okay.
Florida, Texas.
But here's the thing:
we've got to kick them out. We've got to get them the hell out of here.
Well,
they've been setting up biological warfare laboratories in California.
That's right. Sure. Yeah. 100 years ago, they were tapped. I guess it was the New World Order vision central to the agenda that China would lead the way in the 21st century, and that we see now with the steering committees, with the think tanks.
The Chinese general in 2004 came out and said that they would feint attacking Korea, and the real target is Australia and America.
That makes sense.
Because they want
sure.
Yeah, I read that. He published that speech. That guy, that general, he was the highest ranking general in the defense ministry. He addressed the Chinese equivalent of West Point, and he said, we are going to have a war with America, and we are going to conquer them. But we cannot live side by side with Americans. We're going to take the land. We're going to beat them in the war, but then we have to wipe out the Americans, and we're going to use biological weapons to do that.
And then they finance the WHO. Bill Gates come in financing it, just like the Bushes financed World War II with the Germans.
Sure.
We had all of the laws that were passed through the UN, which is following whoever happens to have the most clout at whatever particular time, which happened to also be China. We have China that owns well over 60% of the mainstream media here in America, including things like Disney and Hollywood. We have China that actually is sending 65% of the money that we're using for education, for elementary education here in America. So where do you think all this crazy stuff is coming from? And if you take a look at their elementary, they're actually learning how to speed strip and reassemble AKs in class, 8 and 9-year-olds competing for who's going to take the, best meal for lunch. So
they have suffered. Yeah. They have suffered a cataclysmic. The genie got out of the bottle. They wanted to target America. They let COVID out of China to attack the rest of the world, but it got China. And Lee,
that was weird.
Wait a minute.
About
Lee
we're talking
said
about an international.
They lost 450 million people. Listen to what I said.
Alan, hang on.
Lost 450 million people since the COVID in the last 4 years, and I've given you some evidence that it's true. Because they developed these machines, gigantic trucks, that they could throw 450 bodies in there and evaporate them.
After they've been zapped, you said earlier.
After they were dead, they zapped them inside these chambers, mobile chambers, and to get rid of the bodies of so many people.
How would they kill them in the first place, though?
They died from COVID.
Interesting.
They
China.
had, when they locked everyone in, welding doors and stuff shut,
That's right.
there was some footage that came out of this portable morgue that they'd put somebody in and they would press a button and it would just vaporize them.
That's kind of
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, exactly that. So that's just
Now, what's really
it's
crazy
hey,
about it is there was a lady back in the 70s. I can't remember the book, but it was all based on the fact that she was able to see into the future, and she predicted where they would actually just step into a chamber, they'd press a button, they would vaporize, and a whole bunch of other things that came from this entity of AI. And she was a psychic. She was well known. I have to look up that book again because a lot of that's coming out to be true. She was interrupted during her hypnosis session by an alien entity as well.
coming soon
It
to
was
a
really
location near you is what we would unfortunately we'd have to say. So, oh Canada, do we stand on guard for thee or for Z? So
Oh, did you
it's
know
time for
most of
decision,
Canada is
folks.
supposed to become American states now?
We talked
They
about
just
that
they
earlier
actually
tonight
officially
with
announced
the
it.
independence, Alberta breakaway, the
Thank
vote potentially that's in the works. Yes, but we got to get to the comments here. We can circle back and delve deeper into that. I'm not sure how much time we've got left here, but this business of totally vaporizing people. There was something that I think Robert and I were it came
Hey, I
up in the
just wanted to give you a little
context
math.
last
Yeah,
night.
think about this: 450 bodies per hour. In 10 hours, one of these vehicles would get rid of 4,500 people.
Yeah,
Okay, that's one
it makes
vehicle in 10 hours, and they were running these things for years.
the Holocaust
So,
numbers look like chump change.
oh my goodness! And this is the problem. They wipe themselves out, and they're still lying. They will. It's a big ego trip for the Chinese that they are the most populous nation on earth, 1.5 billion people. But this lady, this reporter Lee Straight Talk, she has debunked that, and she's exposing it from information inside China, and also, oh yes, the amount of salt that Japan was selling to the Chinese has diminished drastically, because and that's a really interesting statistic. Salt is an essential element of life.
Used to be more valuable than gold.
That's why we have the word salary. Do you know that?
Well, yeah, salt of
salaria.
That's right.
Salaria.
Salvation, salt of the earth.
Yeah, actually, at one time in history, wasn't
Salivate.
salt actually a monetary value?
I
That's what I'm
believe
saying.
that's right. Sure.
Yeah, they actually exchanged
Salary.
in salt.
Worth your weight in salt.
That's right, and salary. So, the basically, so Rima LeBeau, Dr. Rima LeBeau, time for the great culling. Remember that Jesse Ventura's conspiracy theory actually, and it's not only that is in the interview that she did with Alex Jones. Actually, no, Alex turned her or Jesse onto Dr. Rima LeBeau, and she met at that out of the way airport location and just returned back to Central America to reunite with her husband, General Stubblebine. She was not happy with the way he was portrayed in the movie The Men Who Stare at Goats. But who is that now? Speaking of conspiracy theory, and Jesse Ventura's, the great series, which goes back now 15 years. I mean, we're here, folks, living in the future. We've made it. God only knows how much further it's going to, we're going to find ourselves managing to carry on here. Potentially not much longer, unfortunately, with the rise of the machines, AI, robotics, the eugenics agenda, and the technocratic elite and their utter disdain for humanity. It's all too, not all of them, presumably, but it just seems to be a common theme. This Who was a scientist, Robert, not Hunter. Remember, there's a 10-minute video we were watching. Soul catchers, essentially, is what we're talking about. Goes back to the alien technology off of the moon. The soul. This is I think that dovetails really quite nicely. As a matter of fact, the soul catcher technology that Jesse helped to.
Yeah, that was Robert Duncan Hunter.
Robert
yes.
Duncan, who's now dead.
That
the age of
that's
53.
part of the story I tried to give you this tonight.
Well, there we go.
The moon thing, which ties into the soul capture, the whole 9 yards, because they're curious about what the heck we are.
They're harvesting our energy, apparently. These reptilian aliens.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's reptilian. It's the spiritual gap that hasn't been active in years.
Okay.
For 10,000 years.
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? So what are they trying to do then? They're trying to close the gap?
Go over and find out what happened to us. They have more curiosity. There's not animosity there. It's a curiosity.
lot of that's conjecture too, because like there's a lot of history that involves the Axis Mundi, which is supposed to be a center where all things return to. So what a lot of people are claiming is this soul trap or this prison is actually a system that the cosmos is created where all information, all material and spiritual, psychological, all of it is returned back to the Axis Mundi and repurposed.
It's interesting what you said there, because Aristotle believed that when humans died, the souls went to the moon, and that's where they were repackaged for reincarnation.
Did we just lose?
C.G. Jung in 1944 had an experience. His doctor gave him some penicillin, and he started to die in the doctor's office.
That's right.
And his soul left his body and was going toward the moon. He got to the moon, and he was really happy. He realized that he was dying, and he was going to find out the secret of life. He said that he got to the moon, and there was a cave there. And he entered the cave where he was going to find out the secret of life. But listen to this, that a short little bald-headed Hindu man came up and stopped him and said, "You can't come in. It's not your time. You have to go back." And he said, "I don't want to go back. I want to know what it is. I want to know the secret." He said, "No, you've got to go back." And he started arguing with this quote unquote, a short, bald, little Hindu man. And as he was arguing to be allowed to stay there in death, in the secret chamber of the hollows of the moon, he could hear the doctor frantically trying to bring him back to life and shooting him up with adrenaline to get his heart started again. And he did, and he came back, and he was just zapped right back into his body, and he became really angry at the doctor. He was so livid.
Yeah.
He wouldn't talk to the doctor.
I have a story that's parallel to that if you want to hear it, and it's personal.
Hang on a second before we get. Hang on a second now. Before we get to that, hang on. We'll let you unpack here in a moment, and I'm not sure how much time we've got left on the clock here either.
15 minutes there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we gotta kind of hustle along here then. Spirits book, card deck. Spirits book. This goes back, and we left a link here in the chat. We'll share it with the listening audience as well. I just discovered this last night. Speaking of NDEs, it goes back to, I think he said it's 1857. It's mind-blowing, folks. So you have to go on YouTube if you want to follow up on things. But it's Monroe did all the great. He was considered to be the innovator and someone who really managed to provide a lot of cutting edge insight and material as far as near-death experience, the phenomenon was concerned. But truth of the matter is, and I'm not sure if Monroe was aware of this or not, Kardec and the Spirits book, it is profound. And so I'll try to find this other video I watched on YouTube last night, which kind of led me to this. I tracked down the audiobook version of things. You can get a PDF file as well too, if you're so inclined. So But I'll just leave it at that because we're limited in time. Back to Alan. HomeNetwork.tv, let's not forget. Everyone else should get their links out there too over the mic before we cut away.
Basically, this actually happened to me, and it's a puzzling thing. I've talked to very few people about this, but when I was 3 years old, I remembered 5 years prior to being 3 years old. And I remember being in a white room. It was absolutely fluid. There was a place in order to lay down. There was a nightstand, and there was a door. And I remember having an argument in whether or not I would go left or right. There was some kind of a approval and things like that.
Okay.
Then I had a vision from that location. It was mixed in with that memory, and the vision was choosing where on Earth I would go. The viewpoint was from the moon. But I remember recalling that at 3 years
I've
old.
been to the moon twice in remote viewing. I taught remote viewing at the Edgar Cayce Center in New York twice, 2 1-month-long classes. And on the last night of the course, we would target the moon. And the last time that I experienced this, I got out of my body in about 3 minutes. I went into deep breathing, meditation. 3 minutes, I was out and I was on my way to the moon. And I saw the moon in front of me. I was halfway to the moon when suddenly I was arrested. I was stopped, as if somebody came up behind me and grabbed my shirt and yanked it and stopped me, dead stop, halfway to the moon. Then the same invisible force turned me around to look at the Earth. And when I turned to look at the Earth, I saw the Earth spin rapidly, 10 or 12 times in about 5 to 7 seconds. It just went, whoa, like a top. But what I was allowed to see was that the tectonic plates were buckling under the force of gravity of the moon. The tectonic plates were buckling like tank treads and were releasing tectonic forces. And I was given this understanding that were it not for the moon, life on Earth would not exist, because those tectonic forces would build up and have cataclysmic superquakes that would be capable of throwing the oceans out of their beds. So this buckling, like tank treads, releases that energy gradually. So I've told this story a few times on the air, and the last time I told it was in Gary Leger's The Martian Revelation. And 2 weeks later, I came across a video from the University of Idaho. The geology department had discovered what they called slow earthquakes. They'd been monitoring a fault line hundreds of feet long, and 6 feet had slipped. And they had it on video, and they said that this phenomenon of slow earthquakes, slow quakes, is what's preventing cataclysmic quakes from happening. So it verified this observation, this vision that I had more than 10 years ago. It was around 9 years ago, 2016, 2017.
So a gradual release of pressure is what it would seem like, rather than just one sudden, which that just is with us as well as the way that we are as human entities. Hang on a second, Alan, just to finish the thought regarding the moon. It's also said to be like an artificial satellite. Hollow is what some people allege. Is that right?
The Russians found an entrance into the moon. It's on the opposite side. I worked for years on their
dark
Zond.
side of the moon.
Yeah, it's not dark, actually. That's a misnomer. The sun does shine on it.
Other side.
So it's dark to us as far as knowledge. Scientists don't use that term anymore. But the point is, I worked for years on the Zond and Luna probes that the Russians sent up, and they were really grainy black and white photos, but with computer technology, I was able to illuminate them. And there is a rectangular, actually practically square entrance into the interior of the moon that the Russians found. It's in the southern hemisphere, just above the Atkins Basin, the south pole of the moon. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. And
well,
miles and miles and miles wide.
Okay, that was one of my next questions.
No
Yeah.
pin spot. Although I found things that look like temples that have shadowing inside, and the Mare Orientale. This is the biggest crater on the moon. It's on the opposite side. It saved the Earth from absolute destruction, and this thing actually is at least 5 miles deep. The last a Japanese probe. What was it called? I forgot the name of the Japanese satellite that mapped the moon. They said that you could fit Mount Fuji. You could fit Mount Fuji inside the Mare Orientale.
Okay.
And the Navy released one single picture. There are two cordilleras, two rings of mountains around this. And NASA has been hiding the fact that these mountains are glass mountains, hundreds of feet, hundreds of miles high. I saw one photograph that Clementine released from a distance at a particular angle, and the mountains look like my fingers, like that.
Hey, one quick question, because we could spend a lot of time, delving into the glass mountains, obviously. But helium-3, I've been hearing a lot about this as of late, and China is really making. They're making some major inroads. Their ability and on the moon. And working, because there's lots of talk of just raw exotic minerals and materials here on Earth that they've got an entire real it's become a national priority, I guess, to get their hands on as much as they can. Helium-3, what is it, and what could it potentially produce? Why is it so valuable, and why is it that Chinese are the only ones that are able, it sounds like, on the verge of making use of it?
That's what they've said, and that they're planning to mine it.
Yeah.
And they're doing something really weird.
It's a game changer, man.
Yeah, on the far side of the moon, they actually tried to land, and they crashed. They put up a secret
last year.
About 2 years ago, we found two craters side by side, and an oblong object between them. It's pretty clear to me and the Hoagland group that.
There we go, folks. It's pretty clear to us and our live streaming team or family, if you will, that we're gonna have to call it a day. Fear not, however, we will be adding everyone's social media contact information to the archived end of things, which will later appear via BitChute, Odyssey, and Rumble. Oh boy. Okay, well let's answer the call then, I guess. Not something I typically like to do, but if we can reconnect, I suppose we can try to. No,
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Is there only one person that we have on board? Why can't I see you? Hello? Yeah, okay, we're ending. I don't know what's going on here exactly, but got that call there. We're trying to call it a day here. I'm not sure if you're still a part of things or not. Alan, Teams is closed at the moment, so it's just the way it goes. Sometimes there was no clock on our end here. We couldn't see nothing. We were, completely blindsided us there. So that's the way it goes sometimes, though, folks. But yeah, more stories than we could possibly get to within the time frame, the course, the context of just the 2 hours, essentially 2 hours plus. All free content, of course. If there's anything that you did manage to surmise or feel that you benefited from, and you can share with others, find it to be interesting, informative, entertaining, or what have you, by all means, definitely consider helping us out. whatever way possible, whether the Patreon end of things, PayPal, via the email we have, of course, main email, pirate1radio at protonmail.com. The pirate merch we have available currently via galacticfire.com. The digital angle and end of things. Not sure why DLive didn't seem to be working this go round. Was that on our end or theirs? There's, speculation seems to have leaned more in the direction of DLive itself, having recently undergone some, just a period of transition for them, I guess. Clearly, a few kinks yet to be worked out. So, liking, commenting, sharing. Remember to hit subscription notification buttons. Always appreciated. Passing word on to friends, family, and coworkers helps to add the kind of independent underground live streaming pirate synergy that we could all stand to benefit from. It really sends a clear message to the algorithm world as well. That we're here, that we do mean business, and we're in part, I suppose, a repository, but also a clearinghouse for information and ideas. Not that we strive necessarily to provide you with any formal legal, financial, or medical advice, not in any regard whatsoever. Of course, there's things that we all practice on our own individually, do all we can to retain and fight for bodily autonomy. My body, my choice. That's a definite red line in the sand, and it is red for a reason too, folks, if you catch my drift. So, great show. Had a heck of a time. Quite animated at various stages. Sonia had a lot to offer there within the context of the first hour. There's a lot of items we didn't get to. Everyone definitely, contributed. Contributed a good deal, and always a pleasure hosting these people. They're friends and fellow pirate mateys, no doubt about it. So, just that we so happen to be separated via this illusion of time and space, this matrix illusion of time and space, does not mean that we cannot come together at various times and do all we can to unpack and address the issues of the day. So a whole lot more to get to here. The schedule itself is going to be facing a bit of a shakeup, so be prepared, folks. Come December, we're going to be doing all we can to dedicate ourselves to the 11th annual Operation Secret Santa Christmas campaign, 10-day telethon, consciousness raising charity event. So be sure to help to spread the word on that front. Obviously, via WPRPN, you can just at the top of the page clearly see Operation Secret Santa link. Copy and paste that one if you'd like to lend a hand. Hashtag OSS 2025. Are we going to be back this Friday night, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 out on the East Coast, with a feature show? It's up in the air at present, but once again, more than probably most people have had the chance in getting around and listening to there via the archives, highly encourage you all to take a look at what it is that we have covered over the past 10 years. Got a lot more great content coming your way here. However you choose to look at it. Hopefully, once again, this go around, people did manage to benefit from the conversation, dialogue, and analysis that we provided. On behalf of Captain Long John Sinclair and all the rest of the crew here down in Skullport Harbor, until we meet again via these high, often all too intrepid digital seas, I'm your host, as always, the Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder, reminding you, keep your ear to the ground and eyes to the sky. Tally-ho!